Okay, so yes, I think we can start. So hello everyone. Thank you for joining today for this new CATIA design webinar. It's a new format where our experts will introduce you to the countless possibilities of designing, editing, and visualizing your project in CATIA. So today we will talk about visualization, immersive and virtual reality experiences. So if you are looking to leverage your designs, to know how to experience your products in order to improve them uh, at any time during your development process, you are in the right place. And for that, I have the pleasure of hosting our two CATIA experts, Hugo Barbalata and Stanislas Dacromi. So hello,
Hello.
guys.
Hey.
So maybe before to start, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I can. Hugo Barbalata. I'm in Dassault since 10 years, an expert in immersive reality, virtual twins, and real-time experience. And this is what we will present today with Stanislas.
Yes, hello, Stanislas Dacremont. I have been also working at Dassault System for 10, 11 years, first at 3D Excite and now at CATIA, and I'm more specialized in visualization and also virtual reality.
Yes, thank you, guys. So before to start, don't forget, at the end of this webinar, we will have a Q&A session. So stay until there. You will be able to ask all your questions to our experts. So now we go, Stanislas, the floor is yours to present all the product experience possibilities with CATIA.
Thanks, Alan. So we are happy to be here with you guys. We want to explain you today what is product experience. It could be a domain that anyone think it's not accessible for anyone to do visualization and experience, but you will see today that it's some tools and capabilities we have into the 3D experience platform and which could be offered to anyone. And we will go through this presentation and explain you how to use these great tools. So first, that's the agenda. We will explain that in quick words that your data, CAD data, which is a digital mockup, we will turn this into a virtual mockup. And then you will see the product design process with the product that Stanislas will present, which is a sofa. All the steps to create this sofa with a stylist, designer, and engineering. And then we will see the process. And all the product experience solution will help you to visualize, experience, and make decision on the realistic model, consuming the data from design and engineering. And at the end, you will see that over this whole presentation, the product experience is something that is accessible at every moment of a design process. And so first, as I was explaining, you have CAD data. This is how your data is looking like when you are designing this. And we call this a digital mockup. And we will turn this into a virtual mockup. And here, what you have what we call covering materials to apply the correct material appearance on two geometries. We have an ambience which is sending and creating lights and realistic appearance around the model. And also you see here some scenarization or what we call staging, where we place the product in a specific context to create this realistic feeling and appearance. And over this presentation, we will show you these three steps. All the data is designed, creating, engineered. In the middle, we have what we call the product experience. So the solutions we want to offer to anyone, and we will present today, and where we push the product you are designing into what we call a real-time experience to make it realistic. And then you will see the three major things we can produce from this experience. But the first part is about how we design the product. And I will give the floor to Stanislas. He will explain you how he has designed this so far.
Okay, thank you, Hugo. So indeed, we have to go through several steps. The first step was modeling of the sofa itself, of course. Okay. It was working earlier, I will restart my presentation.
Yeah, the streaming is always blocking PowerPoint.
Okay, just hold on. I need to present my other screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Sorry for that. So yeah, the first step would be to model the sofa. Here I have been using the app Imagine and Shape, which is available on the platform. It is a subdivision modeling app. I assume many of you already know it. It is very fast and easy to model design models into the platform with Imagine and Shape. And here, what I did, I found online pictures of a sofa I wanted to reproduce in the platform, and I placed it as a background, as a reference, and tried to remodel it on top with IMA. Here I jump between several view modes to be able to properly align, for example, my control points with the rest of the sofa. As I already had the armrests ready, I wanted to have everything fitting properly together. Of course, this is not modeling that we will use for later doing manufacturing. It's only for designing, and it is really fast when you know well the product. So after modeling this part in Imagine and Shape, I jumped into visual scripting, which is another app available on the platform. This is an app which is based on boxes that you will connect together, and that will do almost the same functionalities that you will find on other apps like generative shape design. So it's modeling, but in a scripting way. And it is very powerful to create patterns. So for example, here I wanted to do a cross pattern on the side of the sofa. So I generated a grid by making two-dimensional lines and points and crossed it together. Then I rotated it and made an extrusion, crossed the surface that I already had completely flat on the side of my sofa. And from this surface and the cross section, I was able to get the small squares that I later want to use as a pattern for my sofa and stitching. And this is where also visual scripting is very powerful. It is able to simulate, I would say easily, soft meshes. So this is very useful if you want to simulate like a fabric or a leather, which is a bit, bumpy with nice reflection on it, and not something flat or rectangular that is not realistic at all. I will move a bit faster here. So here we see that I have my surface, which is completely crossed in my small square sections, and I will start to apply my mesher and my mesh thickening to give this illusion that my surface has been, stitched with a little thickness on it. Here I'm working just on a small part of the pattern, because of course each time it takes a bit of seconds to calculate if I modify any parameter. And when I am ready, I can apply it on the full mesh, wait a few seconds, and then I can get this kind of result after applying materials, etc. Then, of course, for my sofa, I needed to add a structure, because in the end, the objective is also to have this unfolding animation, as it is a sofa that can be transformed into a bed. So for that, I needed to model my structure. So I used here a part design to do it. Very basic app. You draw your sketch, and then you make a volume out of it, and combine all those volumes together. You set your constraints, and in the end, you will end up with a part that you are able later on to use to generate kinematics. So in my case, kinematics was for generating this bed unfolding animation. And this is now where I jumped into mechanical systems design. Here we can see all my parts that I generated in part design with my axis, etc. And the goal now is to connect all those parts together in a mechanical system, and then check that every part moves properly according to its neighbor, that there are no collisions, that there is no constraints that will prevent the system from working. And here, after I set everything, I can try my mechanism. So here I see that I forgot, for example, to apply a constraint in parallelism. Then I play it again, and my system is working. So here I only have the system, but then I need to create the kinematic animation. So for that, we need to jump in another app, still in the same domain, which is called Mechanical Systems Experience. Here it is. And from there, I will define what is my the excitement of the animation. So in my case, it's the fact of unfolding, pulling the sofa, and it will automatically generate my animation. I can then export it into my product and access it anytime. From now on, my animation is linked to this product and is usable anywhere in my apps in the platform. Hugo, I let you.
Yep. Thanks, Stanislas. So you saw all these steps, how it was produced. So Stanislas did all these steps, but in fact, with 3D Experience platform, it could be several departments, several users working in parallel and gathering all this information into this product, into this sofa. And so now that we saw all the design and engineering phase, we will move to what we call product experience and the solutions we want to present you today. Product experience, you have what we call real-time experience, and inside this, we have these three domains. The virtual twin, which turn your digital mockup into a virtual mockup, realistic appearance, all the products will look like when you will face it. Interactive experience, so thanks to a real-time experience, we will create a review of a product, some variation, and we will interact with it on screen. But also we have virtual reality capabilities embedded into 3D Experience platform. And you will see that within a click, we will be immersed into the scene and we will visualize, navigate, but also interact with the product. So let's move on. So the first thing, virtual twin, you have to know that we offer visualization for non-experts. You have capabilities to create your own material, but you can also consume a library of material of your enterprise, of your company, and everything will be centralized. And we have realistic visual quality, but this visual quality is also flexible to the device you will use. If it's a basic laptop, a strong computers, or a weak headset, for example. So on the next video, just before, you have here some example of what we have produced with 3D Experience platform. The image you saw here, it's a realistic appearance of product that was designed with 3D Experience platform, and its basic image output we produce with 3D Experience platform. There's no photo retouching, no Photoshop. It's asset straight produced from the platform. So here, the first step to create this virtual twin is to apply materials. So we see here, we are consuming a library of materials that is into our company, and we will apply those materials onto geometries. You can use calibrated materials, but you can also, you have also the flexibility to create your own. So here you see we are just changing the appearance, so the color of a laser. So by applying a new materials, a new color onto the materials, but we can also consume what we call substance material. So we open SBAR file, and then we have flexibility to apply different parameters to create your own material from this file. So we see here that Stanislas was doing some fine tuning on the rotation, on the size of the texture. So we see here the wood is creating a new wood. And so here quickly with some few clicks is generating the desired appearance. Here it's research of material. You can consume your library of materials of your company, but you can also use some what we call calibrated and scan material with our partner Xrite. You can send physical samples, scan and produce files, which is called AXF, and you can load and apply those material which will be scanned, calibrated, and physical correct. So then you saw that we have created the virtual twin with covering materials applied onto your geometries. And now we move to interactive experience. And this is where we have an easy tools to create presentation. And inside this, we will have capabilities to interact within few clicks. You can reproduce the behavior of your product. So you will see we will consume the kinematics, for example, and we will create some easy variation of the product. So Stan, if you want to present this.
So here what we have is a product perception experience, our main app for playing experiences and generating experiences. So what I did here is import my product with already applied materials into an empty product perception experience. But it could be an already existing template, for example, with already predefined cameras, lighting, environments. And what we can see directly is that when we import our model, we have access to the kinematic. And this is very powerful because we can directly have predefined animations coming from the design, from the engineering. And as a visualization expert, I don't need to create animations. It's already available for me within the product. And here what I can do is adjust also the speed of this kinematic and apply to shortcuts that later on I can play in my experience. So when I will share this experience with other people, they will be able directly to click on my shortcut buttons to play the animations. This is the first step for the product perception experience. And then we will have more possibilities is to do some review on screen interactively, immersive also with the VR headset and renderings. So this is the finalized experience that we see here with, on the right, we see all the variants that we created. So we have viewpoints, cameras. We have various patterns that were predefined in visual scripting and various colors for the fabric and the stitches. And we also have various lighting environment simulations. As you can see here, I can click on parts of my design to move camera, change colors, play the kinematic, and also change the lighting. We see also the shadows are it's live shadows. So when we move the sofa, the shadow will also be automatically applied on the floor when we move it for a bit more realism. And this is not ray tracing, it's not advanced lighting simulation, it's for real-time experience, for giving more context to your product. And here, for example, I click on my predefined icon and the kinematic plays back. I can move to different viewpoints to view my product. And if I want, I can also save configurations that I want to keep for later or start renderings directly out of product perception experience. These are rendering examples that were made within product perception experience. This is using our rendering technology called Stellar, and it is physically based rendering using DSPBR materials, but also what Hugo mentioned, AXF materials from our partner. We can automatically render multiple variants. For example, I generated 3 different patterns within visual scripting, imported it into my product as 3 different revisions, and I can now assign it as 3 different variants in product perception experience and automatically render it from the same viewpoint. I could also have merged these 3 different patterns with 3 different colors or 3 different lightings, 3 different combinations of position, etc. We also have the possibility to add context by adding what we call props or other 3D geometries. Here I found 3 geometries online and could import it into the platform.
Yeah, and just to add something, in case you don't have materials, props, and lights, into Dassault we have catalogs for this that you can get and use to create context around your model. And the last thing here is virtual reality. Into 2D experience, if you have an headset or if you can get one, you just have to connect, and with a simple click you will jump into a virtual reality and you will be immersed into the scene you have created and to have capabilities to navigate, visualize, and interact with your product. And it's very flexible, and we are also adapting to the laptop or desktop you are using. Of course, we have configuration we recommend, but then it's very easy to use and to give to anyone. So in the next video, Stanislas shared with me his experience, his model, his staging, props, and materials, and I just had to load the real-time experience. I get all the contextual data, and then I was able to navigate, visualize, and you see here, I'm just checking the objects that I can use, which are trigger of actions. You can create triggers, and I will activate the variants that Stanislas have created. So you see on the right, we see on the left we see what I see in my headset, but on the right, the platform is updating what I'm doing. So people in the room are not being passive; they can see what I'm visualizing, what I'm doing when I will interact, and it's very easy. With the raise, I just have to click on objects. So you see I'm switching between patterns, between materials, the color of the stitching. It's very easy to use, and I will here create and review some different variants. Also, I can do variant exploration. I can consume predefined configuration, but I can create also my own one over the existing one. So I'm doing some research here. Anytime I can save a specific viewpoint, or I can save a specific variant. So maybe there's a variant I was enjoying, and I will save it during my VR experience. And after my experience, I will review this new package. And so again, I have the freedom to navigate around, to activate the kinematics, to see my product behaving, or its logic, or its kinematics. And after my VR experience, here you see the viewpoint I've created, but also the package, the variants. So there were two variants that I really enjoyed, and I decided to save them. And after this, I can give my experience to Stanislas or some decision maker into the company. They will review my new variant, and I can generate new image and videos from this variant. So what we claim and what you saw here, the strengths of our solutions is to offer the virtual twin, realistic appearance of the model to anyone. Anyone can apply your materials, load a contextual scene, create scenarization to stage with a nice ambience, putting some props around the model, and then any time of the process you can do this, and then create images or videos. You can create a real-time experience. You can interact with the product as you saw on screen. So you create your experience and you call colleagues, another department or the decision maker to come and watch and review and click. You see, it's a very simplified interface. And imagine in a room with a touch screen. It's a very great review condition you offer to anyone. And with virtual reality, I just put my headset, I click on VR button, and then I will jump into VR. I will experience, visualize. I have the freedom to move around, to get close, to perceive the shape and materials with no need to extract this model, to have a dedicated department, skilled people, a dedicated room, crazy infrastructure, which is costly. Anyone can plug an headset to his computer and jump in VR. So you see the three domains we offer: virtual reality, interactive experience, but also virtual reality, anytime into a design process for anyone. And that concludes our presentation.
Thank you very much, Hugo and Stanislas, for this very insightful presentation. Just before to move on to the Q&A session, there is a slide here that presents our CATIA Creative Design and Styling community. It is a community available on the 3D Experience platform, where you can access to all the latest news and information regarding CATIA activities, or events, or next webinars, CATIA talks, information about the new release as well. And also you can take benefits of the presence of our experts, CATIA experts on this community, in order to learn customer best practices, to learn tips and tricks, and new ways to produce content and designs with CATIA. We can also network and ask your questions on this community, and our experts will answer to you. So what you have to do is just scan the QR code, which is on the slide, and just log in order to connect. And of course, it's free. So take benefits of this community to improve your experience with CATIA. So now I think it's the promised time for the Q&A session. So we encourage you also to take this moment to ask your questions to our experts related to product experience, and they will answer them. So you have the Q&A tab at the below of your screen. So please feel free to ask your question now. And so maybe before to read the question and while people are writing their question, I have a question for you, Hugo and Stanislas. How long does it take you to create this type of rendering and to have this level of quality?
I can take it, Hugo, if you want. So to get rendering like we did, except the part of modeling, of course, considering you have already a geometry without materials, without a lot of experience, I would say maybe you need at least a week or two. If you already have your bill of material and you know how the apps work, yeah, it's a matter of a day or couple of days, maybe hours for some people.
Yeah, right. Just apply materials, load the scene, press rendering. It's very fast, and at least anyone can make it. Or instead of asking people to do in another department, ask for their availability, export the data to their own software to create images, which is time consuming. You lose time to export information, to request for support and time. And this here, what Stanislas did is basically anyone can apply, render, produce its own assets.
All right. So maybe we have questions. Yes, maybe about the materials. Hugo, you talked about a library of materials available. Maybe can you say a little bit more about it?
Yes, sure. In fact, so Stanislas and I, we are expert in visualization, which means we know how to create covering materials, what we call covering materials. And into our team or with people into our company, we decided to give these materials to our colleagues and friends. And we have created a database of materials which is stored and which is open to them. And in the video, in fact, you call the library and you just have to right click and apply onto geometries. So enterprise library of material, someone make it available for the rest, or you can create your own material. You have this flexibility to create your material, to request scan material with our partners Xrite. And us, also Dassault, we have a library of materials, a generic one with plastic, leather, fabrics, wood, metal, concrete. We have a large diversity of materials within one role, which is called visual content collections. So if you don't have knowledge, if you don't have one people knowing to create materials into your company, we have a library that we can give you. You just have to request this role, and then you will have in your database a generic library.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you, Hugo, for this precision. There was a question about VR, I think, regarding the HMDs model that you are supporting with yeah, which HGM which HGM, sorry,
HMD.
models
Yeah.
are you supporting with CATIA?
So we support a large diversity, large HMD. The main and known one would be HTC. From HTC company, the Vive Pro, the XR Elite, which is also a light one, very nice to use. We also support many headsets from Meta company. From Varjo also, with the Varjo Aero, XR3, XR4. So we have mixed reality, with blending and occlusion capabilities integrated since the 24X release FD01. So over the release, we are more and more open and integrating new devices coming into the market. So known and affordable one, light one, cheap one, but also some which will cost more due to technologies, resolutions of the screen, or if it's a small field of view or large field of view, we support this. And something you saw in the presentation, we claim that we are the strength of the platform, and the visual quality is to adapt the model to the device you are using. So if you have a cheap headset, an HTC Vive, a classic one, or if you have one like the Xtal with a large field of view and huge resolution, in that case, we don't have to crunch, decrease the quality of the model and the materials. We rely on the flexible visual quality of the platform to adapt the model to the headset, to the huge consumption of visual quality and graphic cards that the headset will request. So we are very open to a large HMDs on the market.
Yeah, a lot of models are actually available with CATIA, so that's really great.
Yeah.
All right. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. It's made for you, so this kind of webinar. So feel free to take benefit of our experts. I don't see any other questions for now. So I think if we don't have any other questions, we can close the call and this webinar for today. So thank you all for your participation and for this to this insightful session. And your participation has made it really, really special. So as we said, we invite you to take part of our CATIA design community by simply scan the QR code that is on the slide to continue the discussion with Hugo, Stanislas, and other experts. And also access to the exclusive content, just like the recording of today's session will be available on our community. So don't miss the opportunity to exchange and network with people and experts that shape the world we live in, as we say in CATIA. So we look forward to see you soon, and we wish you a very good day, and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Stan. See you in the community.
Bye.